history is a lie. What happened to the black Jews when they were expelled from Spain and Portugal? From The Jews and Moors in Spain, page 195. On the 30th of March, 1492, the edict for the expulsion of the Jews from Spain was signed by the Spanish sovereigns at Granada. Heralds proclaimed from the street corners of every hamlet and village and city of Spain that all unconverted Jews of whatever sex or age or condition should depart from the realm before the expiration of 4 months, never to revisit it, on any pretext whatever, under penalty of death. These are sad words fraught with anguish and despair, yet however sad, however despondent and hopeless, however much of grief and anguish and despair they convey, they befell the Jews of Spain, and they fail altogether when they are asked to describe the sufferings and miseries which met the unfortunate exiles everywhere in their fruitless search for a quiet spot where they might live or die in peace. Ships stood ready in the harbors to carry nearly all of the banished 300,000 Jews whithersoever it suited the captains best. Into these ships the exiles were literally packed, crowded together without regard to sex or age, often mother torn from child, husband from wife, brother from sister, friends from friends, and separated on the coast meant separation forever. The expulsion edict had prohibited the Jews, under penalty of death, from having money in their possession at their departure, and the Jews obeyed the mandate. What cared they for money when they could not enjoy it in their beloved Spain? What cared they for enjoyment, or even for life, when it was to be lived in distant and hostile lands? But the pirate captains and their heartless crews felt convinced that the Jews must have large sums of money sewed up in their clothes or concealed on their persons. No sooner were they on high sea when men and women and children were ordered on deck, commanded to disrobe publicly, regardless of innocence of youth and modesty of sex. Many a virgin and many a youth, many a husband and many a wife dared to resist. Not that they had money concealed, but for shame's sake. And the raging billows rocked them into their eternal sleep for their resistance. Disappointed in their search, their thirst for gold was the more excited. Body after body they ripped open before the eyes of the unfortunate exiles, in the belief that they must have swallowed their gold and precious jewels. And disappointed in this, there followed a scene, a more detestable and dastardly one the sun never shone upon. When the sailors had finally satiated their brutal lusts upon the innocent and helpless, and faint from terror and torture, and when the still surviving victims had been made to cleanse the ships from every trace of the blood of their friends and kin, they were seized and dropped into the ocean without a pang of conscience, and as unconcernedly as if the great God had created Jews for no other purpose but to appease the beastly appetites of inhuman sailors and serve as food for the fishes of the sea. Wearily they made their way onward, until at last they beheld the joyous sight of human settlements. Exhausted, they lay along the coasts, wasted by suffering and disease, and half demented from starvation. Down to the shore came the priests, and holding a crucifix in the one hand and provisions in the other, the unfortunate Jews were given the choice between Christ and starvation. The flesh was stronger than the spirit. They begged for the bread and ate at it ravenously, after the few drops of baptismal water had cleansed their soul from the foulest stains of infidelity. Nearly 150,000 souls made their way by land to Portugal, whose king, John II, dispensed with his scruples of conscience so far as to allow his greed to triumph over his creed. He granted them a passage through his dominion on their way to Africa, and the permission of an 8 months' stay in his realm, in consideration of a tax of $8 a head, which immense sum he levied from the native Portuguese Jews. To their misfortune, the plague broke out in Portugal and raged with deathly fury. Immediately, the church arose, held the Jews responsible for the visitation of the plague, and lashed the populace into a relentless fury because of the visitation of the plague and the breach of contract on the part of the Jews. The King's Creed awoke again simultaneously with the reawakening of his greed. He issued an edict which threw even that of Torquemada into the shade. All Jewish children below 14 years of age were torn from their parents' arms, dragged into the church, baptized. Those under 3 years of age were given to Christians to receive a Christian education, or in other words, to be raised as slaves. Those between 3 and 10 years of age were put on board of a ship and conveyed to the newly discovered unwholesome island of St. Thomas called Ilhas Perdidas, the Isles of Perdition, which was colonized by Portuguese condemned criminals to fare there as best they could. Those between 10 and 14 years were sold as slaves. Then indeed, the cup of their affliction was full to the brim. I will not enlarge on the cruelty and the avarice which they frequently experienced from the masters of the ships which transported them from Spain. Some were murdered to gratify their cupidity, others forced to sell their children for the expenses of the passage." End quote. I hope you will forgive the length of this video, even though I left out so much. Let's end the video by reading where these Jews ended up settling after the dispersion. Many of the Portuguese Jews settled and became prosperous in the Indies, in southern France, and in Hamburg. Others settled in the Netherlands and became especially prosperous in Holland. From Holland, large numbers of the descendants of the Portuguese and Spanish exiles entered England through the intercession of Manasseh ben Israel with Oliver Cromwell, and from England and from the Indies and from Italy, they entered the United States. This book is free to access on Internet Archives, or you can use our direct link.
Okay, let's get some more proof what these devils did. Okay. Because that's just straight up wrong, man. Okay, let's go get Joel chapter 3 verse 3. Well, let's start here on verse 2. Okay. "I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people." Right? So this is where I'm from, for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. That's my point. Right? Not finished. "And have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink." Right? This is what they did. You just saw the video, okay? They sold 10 and 14-year-old children as slaves. They cast lots for my people. Did they not say that they were put $8 per head for Oliver Cromwell and that Ben Israel dude? Right? "And have given a boy for an harlot, and a girl they sold for wine that they might drink." It told you at the beginning of the video that they split entire families, friends, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, they split everybody the fuck up. Right? Okay, "and the shipping ports of Tyre and Sidon." Yep, "and what have you to do with me, Tyre and Sidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head." They're in the time when their recompense is about to fall upon their head. Right? "Because you have taken my silver and my gold and carried it into your temples, my goodly and pleasant things." Right? And they falsely accused people of swallowing down gold and silver and sliced them open, murdering them in broad daylight in front of their families, searching through their intestines and their stomach wall for gold. Right? The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border. Right? Okay, now did not the Moors sell the Jews, buy and sell the Jews to the Portuguese? Okay? Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And that's the reason why you see a lot of the chariots of the Lord, floating over Portugal, Spain, Italy. You see a lot of chariot sightings over there. Venezuela, El Salvador, Brazil, Colombia. Right? That's the reason why. Most High is about ready to take his people back home. Okay? Here's where's the other one at? Oh yeah, that's it. I think that was it. That's basically all I had to say. All right. Okay, let's go to because they definitely bought and sold us like we were nothing, man. And this is what happened to us. This is the reason why. Right? Daniel 9:8. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. And the confusion of face comes by way of our people being sold to the nations. And since we're in the captivity of all these different nations in which we were bought and sold to, okay, after 2 or 3 generations, you're going to intermarry and intermix with the people of the surrounding nation that you're in as a slave, okay? That's what the fuck you're going to do, okay? That baby's going to come out lighter. That baby's going to grow up. It's going to get married to one of the surrounding people. That baby, after that's going to become lighter and lighter. That's where you get Jeremiah chapter 12, right? Verse 9. Mine heritage is as unto me as a speckled bird. Right? The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Right? Mine heritage is unto me is as a speckled bird. So, meaning that our blood would be intermingled with that of the nations. And the children, or the byproduct of this intermingling today, would look like those nations in which we were scattered to. We would have people looking like white people that are actually Israelites. We would have, or Jews from Judah. This is the southern tribe of Judah. The southern tribe of Judah consists of Judah, Benjamin, and the Levite priests, which be Judah, which be the African American Negroes, so-called African American Negroes, so-called Negroes, okay. Benjamin, which would be the West Indians, right? And the Levite priests are the Haitians today, right? So that's what happened to us as far as being the actual Jews, because you can't be an actual Jew unless you're from the tribe of Judah, okay? Jeremiah 12:7. I have forsaken mine house, I have left mine heritage, I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies. Okay? And that's what happened, man. Now getting back over here to Daniel, chapter 9, verse 9. To the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, our power, belong mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. Right? Because we started worshiping all the false gods of the nations, of the idols of the nations, trying to fit in with them instead of being separate and worshiping him and them coming to us. We started doing business with them, and they stabbed us in the fucking back. Okay? Right? Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, our power, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. Right? Yep, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, because we have sinned against him. Okay? And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. Okay? Skip down to verse 14. Therefore the Lord watched upon the evil. What is the evil? Right? What is the evil? That evil are these wicked nations that took us into slavery. The Edomites, the Grecians, and sold us and removed us far from the border of Israel. And they sold us and scattered us throughout the four winds. You saw the pictures. You heard the words. This is actual secular history that matches up with biblical history that we're both reading together. Okay? That's what happened to us, man. Hell, that's how we got over here to America. Okay? Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, our power, is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice. We have done wickedly. Right? And now, O Lord our God, that has brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and has gotten thee renown, as at this day we have sinned and have done wickedly. Okay? That's the reason why you see this video, man, like that. Okay? Real talk. Okay? And Lamentations 2, right? Verse 15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Right? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, We have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. Okay? And this is what these devils have done, man. The Lord hath done that which he hath devised. Remember, the Lord had foresaw the evil and watched after the evil and brought it upon us. Remember? The Lord hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and hath not pitied. He hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He has set up the horn of thine adversaries. And that's basically pretty much the end of this video, okay? You know, because the horn of our adversaries are the Edomites and their wicked hegemony of democracy in the United States petrodollar. Here in America, all Babylon the Great, mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots and of witchcrafts, right? Harlots being, freedom of religion, okay, going a-whoring from the Most High by worshiping all these false gods. You can pick and choose which religion you can be a part of. That was set up against us as well. Okay? That way all of the other nations could come here and spit in our face for trying to be like them instead of them trying to be like us. You see? And then, that the wicked hegemony of of witchcrafts, pharmaceuticals, pharmacopoeia, okay, that's witchcraft. Okay? And then mistress, the mother of harlots. I said that's freedom of religion. That's what started being the mother of harlots. Okay? And all of these wicked laws that are against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, which brings us back to, the children, the children of Israel, where it says in Lamentations 2 and 14, the prophets that have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity. Right? Such as individuals like Bishop Nate over at IUIC, right? They have not discovered thine iniquity, and they did that on purpose in order to hide the fact of who we are from us as the people, because they took the bag to earn wages to put it in a bag filled with holes. Because at the end of the day, they still have to go to this Edomite devil in one of all things. Just like the curses that put upon us, that the Most High God watched the evil and brought it upon us. Like it says, to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. And the false burdens, right, and causes of banishment, bad enough we're captives in a land of our captivity where we think upon the name of the Most High, but the causes of banishment is following in behind all of these false ideologies and false gods and belief systems. Egyptology and Mormonism and Catholicism and Islam. Like you saw on that mass shooting they had in Philadelphia today or yesterday. Okay? Well, they were having Ramadan, the Islamic end of the Islamic fasting for a month, right? And some lunatic goes through there, a teenager, goes with dreadlocks no less, goes through there shooting the shit out of people. Okay? See? So, I mean, these Edomite devils have set everything up in this country and in this world against us. Okay? Real talk. They have done it. They've succeeded. We're finished. Okay? What is it? 2 Chronicles. Was it? I think it's 15. I'm trying to remember that biblical scripture. Right? Okay, Chronicles, 2 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 13. That whosoever would not seek the Lord God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. Okay? That is basically what has happened to us, man. Because none of us seek after the Father or to keep his commandments. They say that the law is done away with. Okay? This is all we needed to do, man. All we needed to do was enter into the covenant with the Most High God with all their heart and all their soul. That's all we needed to do. And we wouldn't do it, and we still haven't done it to this day. And that's the reason why the wickedness is still upon us, done to this day. But anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. Kal halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Shalom.